Salute, man. What's good, man? It's your boy YOLO. You know my bop. Sorry for the delay in content. I'm actually waiting for my equipment to come in so I can start doing some lives and really get to it. Y'all know how I like to shut shit down, right? I kill shit slow, but they die certainly. I just want to tap in, say thank you to all the supporters thus far. You know, if you guys have any ideas, any suggestions, like I said, just hit them up in my comments. I'll be more than happy to address them. You know, the goal is to try to open doors for as many people as possible. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with YouTube. You know, it can be with anything. It can be with, if you want to learn or get into real estate, music, whatever the case might be. When one door opens, other doors are sure to follow. On that note, rest in peace to Takeoff. You know, I've been seeing the internet popping. Everybody's talking about the possibilities of what caused his death. And that just reminds me of what type of world we live in today. Because God knows that individual was not celebrated as much as he is now when he was alive. And it's not only with that individual. It's just with everyone in life in general. Doesn't matter what status you hold as far as like a celebrity or your average class person. Life is short. And that right there is proof that you can wake up one day and by the afternoon you could be gone. Cherish those who mean a lot to you. Respect those. And love for real. I'm not going to touch too much on that because, again, the way I look at it is there's a father without a son. There's a mother without a son. Possibly children without a father. And that, to me, is a sad thing. That's the reality of what it really is. He was a great lyricist. You know, especially coming from the South, you know, these three individuals, they did a lot. They owned clubs. You know, unfortunately, it's going to take a tragedy like this to bring them back together. And again, that's with everyday life. That's not only with people who hold celebrity status. It usually takes a bad downfall to make you realize what's what. And I know you guys been waiting on that spicy talk. Don't worry. I promise you guys I got something in the works, something in the makings. It's going to be crazy. When I say crazy, it's going to be crazy. It's going to put a lot of shit to bed. So what's good with y'all, man? I hope your Halloweens were safe. I hope your children's enjoyed it. I just want to take this time to tell y'all a little bit about me and what I feel defines a man and why I am the way I am. You know, I come from the Bronx, 180th to be exact, building number 900. What's crazy is the building name is really 900 Dungeon, like torture chamber, like dungeon. No lie, the building really says dungeon on it. And the name fit because growing up, you know, it was your average drug spot. The entry doors were blacked out. It was reinforced so that way cops can't run in that fast. You know, and it's the same typical thing as a lot of people from the ghetto experience. Life, death, snakes, whole bunch of shit. A lot of people, you know, judge me based off the fact that I work security. But let me explain to y'all why none of that shit phases me and why none of these individuals can put fear in my heart. I live life differently. And the reason I say that is my son is 15 years old now. I've had custody of him since he was 2 months old. His mother abandoned him when he was 2 months old. So at that moment, I had no choice but to grow up real fast. And I got to experience being a parent from a mother's perspective as well as a father's perspective. And not only that, my son, when he was younger, he suffered from epileptic seizures. So this is where the fear factor comes in. As we all know, every seizure can be a possible death sentence. Every seizure can be a possible death sentence, whether it's mild or severe. In my situation, I had to endure those times quite a few times when it came to my son. And I thank God that my son hasn't had a seizure in over 6-7 years. The countless and endless appointments, neurologists, and most importantly, finding out the true definition of courage. I want y'all to walk with me for a second. Picture this. Picture you're sleeping, your son, 2 years old, 3 years old, laying next to you. You feel him moving a lot, but you don't think nothing of it because you're thinking that he's just, being a kid, moving around, stuff like that. Now picture you waking up only to see your child's eyes rolled in back of their head, muscles locked up, and they're shaking. And that's the first time you've ever experienced it. So this is why fear doesn't faze me. Because for many years, I had to live and learn how to continue to live with the fear every time my son had a seizure, and me thinking, is this going to be the one that takes my son from me? A lot of y'all wouldn't last 5 minutes in my shoes. And the reason I say that is because 90% of the time, us as fathers, when we have children, we don't realize the responsibilities that the mother has. We don't realize the ups and downs that the mothers have to deal with. It's completely different than what the fathers have to deal with. And I'm just being honest. I almost gave up a few times. Not so much on my son, because I would never give up on my children. But I almost gave up on myself. And then I chose to educate myself on my son's situation of epilepsy. I chose to fight side by side with him and show him that I'm there. So when you hear all these tough guys on the internet doing all this and that, listen, that shit doesn't impress me, man. Walk a mile in my shoes and then get back at me. Tell me how tough you thought you was. Now, I want to give y'all a little insight of what my plans are as far as with the platform. My plans with the platform is for us to have fun. For us to have fun, for us to be serious at times, and for us to touch on a lot of things that are not being touched on. Pause. As far as real life issues. I want to be able to pick minds and have people pick my brain as well. That's how you get to know someone, and that's how you learn. Everyone in life can teach you a lesson. Even the most slowest motherfucker alive can teach you a lesson. This year alone, past couple of months, I learned not every friend is your friend. Not everybody who claims to be real is real. And a lot of people do shit for show. That's not me. I just want people to understand that there's reasons why people are content with the way things are in today's times. And again, I just want to bring the real. I want to thank everybody that supports me, everybody that shows love. That was just a little snippet of who I am, where I'm from, and what I've gone through. Now, I only brought up the situation with my son because not a lot of people understand what real fear is. Not a lot of people would think they're tough if they were in that situation. You understand me? I hope we can bring awareness to autism, to epilepsy. I do a couple things. For example, for breast cancer awareness, me, myself, and a couple other dudes, we throw together flag football tournaments. All the proceeds go to breast cancer research. We also do the walk for autism. Not all street niggas gotta stay stuck in the streets. You feel me? You can use what you learn in the streets to turn up a positive outcome. And I can honestly say I was a product of my environment for a long time. A long time. I didn't even realize that the world was bigger than the Bronx. Don't let that go over your head. We all have similar walks of life. Just different beginnings, different endings, but we all have the same walk of life. Same stresses, same pains, same heartaches, same up and downs. I want to say salute to the 050 movement, Harlem Legend, Platinum Shine, the whole 050 and Dark Side. Stay in tune, because it's about to get spicy. When I say it's about to get spicy on my brim, it's about to get spicy. Have your milk ready, because I'm going to cause heartburn, you heard?